Hi everybody, this is Will Bowen with today's JumpStart. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever been scammed? I have, a couple of times. There was a man who told me when I was living in Wilmington, North Carolina, they had a contract with the government to buy stuff that had been seized in drug raids. You've probably heard this one before. And he needed cash money to go and buy this stuff and then he'd sell it. It was a Ponzi scheme. I was 28 years old and he took $6,800 of my money, which I thought I'd never have money again in my life, after he took that. So I've actually had that happen a couple of times. I've had people scam me. But anyway, the reason I bring it up is you can probably relate to this, or you can probably relate to being betrayed. Now, the reason that con men are called con men, we always say, well, he's going to con you. And we think of that as a verb. He cons. One who cons is a con man or a con woman. But where did the term come from? Well, it comes from confidence. It comes from them getting you to have your confidence in them. Their goal is to make you want whatever it is they have so bad. When this guy was offering me these returns of like 25% every 90 days on this money, of course I just kept adding money because he built his confidence in me. Now, recently I read Malcolm Gladwell's book, Talking to Strangers, which I highly, highly recommend. But one of the core concepts of the book is that in the absence of information, of more information, we resort to truth-telling. Now, what does that mean? Not that we tell the truth. We assume that the other person is truth-telling. Whenever we are given something that seems really exciting, etc., 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 our brain begins to actually shut off. That skeptical side of us that can protect us begins to go away. And if we don't have enough information, we begin to fall into what's called truth-telling, which means, well, you know what? I feel like this person must be telling the truth. Why? Because most people tell the truth. That's it. Because most people tell the truth. Now, interestingly, I was also listening to a podcast called Hacking Humans, which I highly recommend. Hacking Humans talks about all the various scams that are going on right now that might come through your phone or your computer or whatever, so you can prepare yourself. And they interviewed a woman who has studied scammers for 35 years. She's considered the world expert on scammers. And she herself, who has studied every kind of scammer, said that if she was being scammed, she wouldn't know it. What? How could this woman not know it? Well, she said it's because we all have this feeling of uniqueness. Now, not specialness. We're all special. We're all unique snowflakes. But we feel like we're unique in a situation like that. Somebody tells you that the Prince of Namibia has got $20 billion that he needs to get out of his country, and all he needs for you to do is pay a 0.065%, whatever it is, transfer fee, which turns out to be $1,700, and all of a sudden you're out $1,700 because you think you're unique. That's why scammers work. Now, to tie this all together, we resort to truth-telling, all right? So we believe scammers, we believe people who are going to betray us. So the woman who is the expert on scamming says, here's what you need to do. What you need to do is, and this is hard, when we're in a situation and we feel like we're the unique one and things are going to work out, we need to listen to our friends and family. We need to listen to other people, because they're not going to look at us and think, you know what, yes, in most cases, you are absolutely unique. This couldn't be a scam. You couldn't be being ripped off. So, as difficult as it is, and many people who have been ripped off talked to their friends and families and then went ahead and did it anyway, and that's how they get ripped off. And by the way, the number one group of people who get ripped off in this country are not the elderly. The number one group of people who get ripped off are millennials, because they get ripped off at very small levels, $10, $20, $50, but there's way more of them because there's a lot of small scams out there. The elderly, those people get ripped off for way more money. So more millennials get ripped off, but more elderly pay more money. How do you stop yourself from having that happen? Be willing to trust your friends and family. If your friends and family say no, the answer's no. Because when you're excited about the potential of a windfall, your prefrontal cortex shuts off, your judgment reflexes shut off, and before you know it, you're out $6,700, which is what I was out, or more. So, be careful. Trust your friends and family, because sometimes you can't trust yourself. Hey, be sure and leave your questions and comments below, and I'll respond personally. And enjoy today. We'll talk tomorrow. Bye-bye.